understood what is ecological succession. So what is ecological succession? It is nothing but gradual, fairly predictable change in species composition of an given area. ये जो sequential change होते हैं is orderly, right? And it runs parallel to environmental change. We have also understood your serial stage, what is pioneer species, and finally the stable community is called as your climax community. Now in this video we are going to discuss succession of plants. Okay, if you are focusing on succession, then this succession may begins from water area, wet area, or this succession may begins from your dry area. Okay, so here we are having two type of succession on the basis of place from where this starts. Okay, if succession starts from water in the sense we are talking about wet area where proportion of water is more, right? Such type of succession is called as your hydrarch succession. So what is hydrarch succession? Which starts from your water, or you can say it as a wet condition. On another hand, if succession starts from dry area, okay, so for example it can be rocks, right? If it starts from dry area, such type of succession is called as your xeric succession. Okay, so here the condition is dry and here the condition is wet. Now both succession, whether succession begins from wet condition or succession begins from dry condition, both this succession leads to a medium water condition. Medium water condition, and this condition is called as mesic condition. इसको क्या कहा जाता है बेटा जी? Mesic condition. Okay, what is mesic condition? It is not too much dry, not too much wet. So once again, here we have started with succession in plants depending on area, hydrarch and xeric succession, or it is also called as your xerarch succession, one and the same. Okay, both this leads to a medium water condition जिसको आप बोलो mesic conditions. What is mesic condition? It is indicated by neither too dry nor too wet condition. That is, it comes in between these two. This condition comes between these two. ये wet है, ये dry है, and here neither too dry nor too wet. Okay, now we are discussing your xerarch succession. Xerarch succession in the sense it starts from dry area. Okay, and here we are discussing of your rocks. So we have also understood that the first species that occupies are called as your pioneer species. Okay, so if we are talking about rocks, the very first species, okay, in primary succession is none other than our lichens. Lichens we have understood in class 11. What are lichens? Lichens are nothing but combo pack of your algae and fungus. Okay, there is mutual understanding, a kind of symbiotic relationship between algae and fungus that is called as your lichens. Okay, so the very first species that occupies bare rocks are our lichens. Okay, now this lichens secretes acidic material which dissolves rock. Most important thing is this, ये जो lichen है वो acidic material secrete करते हैं. They are going to secrete acid that dissolves rocks, helps in weathering and soil formation. इन लोगों का of course they are also going to die, which adds organic matter over the rocks, right? This results in formation of thin layer of soil. Once again मैंने आपको ये बोला कि primary succession की अगर आप बात कर रहे हो, if you are talking about succession that begins in dry area, right? तो pioneer species जो होगी वो कौन होगी? आपकी lichens. Lichens are nothing but combo pack of your algae and your fungus. Okay, the algal component, yes, phycobiont, and fungal component is your mycobiont. This we have understood. Now what happens during course of time, this lichen dies, they releases their organic material on that rocks. Apart from this, as an excretory product, they are going to secrete acid. This acid, ये जो acid lichen secrete करेगा, it dissolves rocks and helps in weathering process, जिसकी वजह से a very thin layer of soil is formed. Now this thin layer of soil is suitable for our primitive plants, smaller plants like bryophytes, okay. Now we very well know that lichens are pollution indicator. So this type of condition becomes unsuitable for lichens and more suitable for bryophytes. So धीरे धीरे these lichens are replaced by smaller plants like bryophytes. Simple as that. So pioneer species से next कौन सी community आ जाएगी? Seral communities, where one organism is replaced by other organism. यहाँ पे कौन किसको replace करेगा? Lichens are replaced by bryophytes. Okay, they themselves create such condition which is suitable for bryophytes. We very well know that bryophytes can survive in small amount of soil. Okay, they can itself have a very nice hold in small amount of soil. धीरे 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 they will also die. They releases their organic matter within the soil, right, which creates more suitable atmosphere for next higher plant like pteridophytes. धीरे 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 करके this leads to a final stable community, that is your climax community, and वो क्या होगी? Nothing but our forest. Okay. So यहाँ पे क्या लिखा है मैंने? Small plants like bryophytes which are able to take hold in small amount of soil. With time, your bigger plants, and after several more stages, here we are talking about seral stages, seral communities, right, leads to a climax community, that is our forest. Okay, so this climax community will be stable as longer as environmental factors are stable. तो ये क्या हो गया आपका succession, that is your Zerarch सक्सेशन. याद क्या रखना है आपको यहाँ पे? पायोनियर स्पीशीज जो है, ओके, वो क्या है? लाइकेन. लुक, lichens do not need soil. Okay, they are capable of absorbing moisture from atmosphere itself, जिसकी वजह से रॉक पे सबसे पहली स्पीशीज जो इन्वेट करेगी इसको, वो कौन होगी? आपकी लाइकेंस. धीरे 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 एज पोल्यूशन इंक्रीजेस, एज your higher plants are coming, one organism is replaced by other replaced by next one, and so on. Finally, this leads to a climax community, that is forest, which is in equilibrium with surrounding atmosphere. Okay, now we are discussing your hydrarch succession. Hydrarch succession in the sense which begins from water, and here we are taking example of small pond. Okay, so now if we are talking about pioneer species, what are pioneer species? First occupying species that are our phytoplanktons in that primitive condition, right? So the very first stage is called as phytoplankton, where there is presence of some blue algae, some diatoms, and even bacteria. These organisms are first to colonize the sphere of pond. Now what happens is planktons dies and decompose, and they're mixing with silt. How silt is formed? Silt is formed from surrounding land which comes along with formation of soft to this presence of comes your second stage, that is root submerged stage. In this stage, rooted hydrophytes. Okay, से एक बार क्या होता है, ये जो फाइटोप्लैंक्टन्स डाई होके डिकम्पोज, this mix with silt. What is silt? Silt is formed by mixture of along with rain at the bottom of soft mud suitable for rooted hydrophytes. Rooted submerged stage. Your free floating stage, again here there is presence of rooted hydrophytes who are having large leaves, and this leaves floats on the surface. Floats on the surface. Okay, इसकी वजह से ये स्टेज को क्या कहा जाता है? Free floating stage. Next comes your reed swim stage. Okay, now this reed swim stage is also called as your amphibious stage. इसको क्या बोला जाता है? Amphibious stage. What happens in this stage? यहाँ पे जो plants होते हैं, they developed rhizomes. Okay, what are rhizomes? We know that they are root-like structure. So the plants which are present in reed swim stage, amphibious stage, have rhizomes and form dense vegetation. ये लोग क्या बनाते हैं? Dense vegetation. Okay, by the time here there will be presence of too less amount of water. Next comes your marsh meadow stage. Okay, in your marsh meadow stage, the condition is mesic. The condition becomes mesic. Mesic मैंने बोला था not to dry, not to wet. Okay, and धीरे 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 what happens? There will be slow. You can say in marsh meadow stage there will be gradual disappearance of dense vegetation. Okay, जो dense vegetation यहाँ पे होती है, gradually will disappear, will starts to disappear in your marsh meadow stage due to mesic condition. The next stage that comes over here is your scrub stage. It is also called as your woodland stage. Now what happens in this? After disappearance, after total disappearance of your marshy vegetation, the soil which is present will become dry. Okay, will become drier and drier. Now terrestrial plants invade that soil. Okay, now what happens? Terrestrial plants invade these soils, and finally there is conversion of pond ecosystem to terrestrial land ecosystem. Okay, finally जो water से start हो रहा था, it gets converted into land. Okay, so the climax community over here are your trees. Trees in the sense we are talking about forest where there is presence of different trees and different plants. So this is your hydroid succession. This step you have to memorize it. Phytoplanktons, rooted submerged stage, then is your rooted floating stage. Reed swamp stage is also called as your amphibious stage. Then we are having marsh meadow stage. When there is mesic condition, we are having scrub stage, which is called as your woodland stage, and finally we are having climax community, that is our forest.